Welcome again to this video series about 13 things you shouldn't be doing in your partnership. 13 things that you can stop doing if you catch yourself being one of those people who do it. And that could be any of us. This little video series is based on the book 13 Things Mentally Strong Couples Don't Do by Amy Morin. I originally came across Amy Morin in a podcast by Shane Burkle, who is a couples therapist, and he has an amazing podcast for couples therapists and coaches called The Therapist Couch. He interviewed Amy Morin in one of his episodes, and that's when I first came across her and this book. Alright, so first of all, we will get into the number one thing mentally strong couples, like Amy Morin phrases it, or I would say resilient couples who have a strong, solid relationship, don't do. Number one, mentally strong couples don't ignore their problems. Why do we ignore problems? Sometimes it's less scary to keep the status quo than to actually change something. Sometimes the fear of a change is greater than the suffering we might be experiencing. We might also avoid addressing problems because we worry that our partner would get upset. Or we might be afraid that there is a chance that things won't get better anyways. The first thing we have to do is define our problem. Two people might have a different perspective what the problem is. Partner A might, for example, feel that partner B is a slop and should be tidier and less messy, while partner B might feel that partner A is a neat freak. So the actual problem is different standards, different expectations of how clean and neat the house should be. The same would apply for arguments about money. That ultimately comes back to different priorities of what to spend money on. Once we've defined the problem, we'll still need to be clear whether this is a problem that can actually be changed, or if it's a problem that can't be changed, we can always change how we feel about it. The next step then would be to figure out the motivation level of each partner to change this problem, to fix this problem, and then you can actually make a plan to tackle it. I know it is scary to address problems, but it will make you stronger as a couple. Of course, the timing matters when you bring up a problem. Don't do it 10 minutes before your partner is going on a business trip, is what Amy Morin says. Or don't do it 15 minutes before you're ready to go to bed. Pick a good time. However, also don't postpone addressing the problem, waiting for the perfect time. There is no such thing as the perfect timing. You also want to avoid dwelling on the problem, bringing it up repeatedly. That is actually not solving the problem. If you keep rehashing your frustrations or you're lecturing or nagging, that is detrimental and has the opposite effect. Here are 5 conversation starters for you and your partner if you want to talk about addressing problems. Number 1, you could say, what are problems that we solved well together? That puts you in that mind frame that, yeah, you're pretty good at solving problems. You could ask your partner for an example of a time you addressed a problem and your partner was glad that you did. Or of a time when your partner addressed a problem and it went well and he or she was really glad that they did address the problem. You might want to ask your partner how they found the courage to address a problem if it was a difficult one to speak about. You're letting them know that you really appreciate that they did this. And last but not least, ask your partner, what is it that I do that helps you to address a problem that's hard to talk about?